There is a huge warehouse sale going on right now at Spellbinders. Hi everyone, I'm Rebecca Keppel, and I went to check out the sale for myself to see if there was anything I wanted to buy. And honestly, I found a whole bunch of stuff, and I did make a big purchase, and I did find other things that I use every single day in my crafting. So I wanted to jump on here real quick and let you know that I have a video sharing 52 different items that I purchased or use all the time in my card making, and I wanted you to have the chance to go grab them at a discounted price. So that's a lot of items, and I don't want to take up hours of your time letting you know that all these things are on sale. I want you to be able to go grab them if you want them. So we're going to go through them relatively quickly. Sometimes I'll show samples of cards that I've made with these items. Sometimes I'll just talk about why I like them so much, how I use them all the time in my crafting, and I will of course link to them all in the YouTube description box below this video so you can get right over to them if you want to check them out. The sale is only going on for a few more days, so if you're interested in grabbing these items at a discounted price, and some of them are discounted and then in the cart they take off 60% more, so it's a huge bargain, and I don't know how long each of these items will last. Again, the sale is not going to last that much longer, so if you're interested, please go check them out now. So let's jump right in and take a look at my favorites. And I've broken them up into categories so that we can kind of go through them a little more quickly. So we'll start with machines, because that is something that I use every single time I'm card making. So there are a couple of machines that are on sale, and one of them is the Platinum 6 machine. Now, this is the one that I use every single time I'm card making. I'm always doing some type of die cutting, and the Platinum 6 is a workhorse. It's best with the universal plate system, which it comes with, or you can get the universal plate system if you don't already have it. And that plate system includes the platform A and the platform top B, two clear cutting plates. Those are both C's, and that's your basic die cutting sandwich with the die and paper in between the two clear plates. Then it also has the D adapter plate. That's for 3D embossing folders, and all of my Spellbinders 3D embossing folders work brilliantly with that adapter plate. And if you like to do embossing with dies, that's what the E rubber mat is for. Next up is the Glimmer machine. Now, I was not one of the first people to use or try a Glimmer machine. I kind of held out for a while, and then I decided to break down and give it a try. And I am telling you, I have been addicted to hot foiling since that day. So I use it all the time now. I love the ease of being able to use hot foils and hot foil plates as well as better press plates. Now, a couple of my favorite hot foils are also on sale. This is the mini rainbow hot foil. I use that a lot for rainbows. I just think it's such a great, easy way to add a ton of color to a background. And rainbows are really easy to match other things too. So you can use lots of other die cuts and things on top because you have basically every color of the rainbow in that little background. Plus, look at all that shine. My other favorite that is on sale is something that I recently discovered I did not have for a long time, but is this white opaque foil. It comes also with the black opaque foil. Now, white opaque foil, when you use it in the Glimmer machine, it looks like white heat embossing, but a white heat embossing that is absolutely perfect. No little grains on the sides or, little bits of powder that just don't come off. It gives you a crisp white opaque look even on black cardstock. So here you can see even on light cardstock, it also looks very pretty. You can use it for sentiments, you can use it for backgrounds, and it's something that I highly recommend. I do love the black too. It is great, especially for these Halloween card backgrounds. I use stars and spider webs to create those. Next up, let's look at a whole bunch of different tools, starting with the Spellbinders Guillotine trimmer. Many of you have probably probably seen me use this in most of my videos. It goes up to 6 inches, which is great. It has a protector guide on the side, and then I love the Guillotine trimmer for how crisp it cuts and how thin you can cut as well. So often I'll use this to cut things down to 4 by 5.25 or 4.25 by 5.5. And you can see it's just a perfect, straight, nice slice in that paper, and it looks absolutely phenomenal. Next up is the larger trimmer. This is not a guillotine trimmer. This is one of those roll trimmers that the blade rolls up and down. I don't have this one yet, but I just ordered this from the warehouse sale. So I just thought I'd throw it in there for those of you who need a little bit bigger of a trimmer, especially if you're doing any scrapbooking or if you want to cut your paper in half vertically in an 8.5 by 11, you would need something a little bit larger like this. So then we have the scissors. Now, again, these are new scissors for me. I bought these myself before the warehouse sale, but I am absolutely loving them. Of course, they are non-stick, but look at how smoothly you can run through foil. Absolutely amazing. And then of course the smaller detail scissors you can cut threads, you can cut ribbons, all kinds of things. So these are my 2 crafting scissors that I'm using all the time now. The blue handle is not on sale. It's a gray detail handle that is on sale right now. Next up, we have a couple of punches. The 3-in-1 tag punch is one of my favorites because you can absolutely create 3 different sizes of tags. It tells you on the punch what size to cut your paper to, 2.5 to 1.5, exactly whatever it is, and then slide it into the place that it is supposed to be inserted in the tag, and then just punch it, and then you've got your beautiful punches. I also love the corner notch punch because it's a small punch, but it really packs a punch. Is that too much punch? So you can round your corners. That's a really nice look for cards. You can also create notches. That's a great look as well, but it can also be used when you're creating envelopes. So I just like how small it is. It can fit in a little desk drawer that sits right next to me. So I like having that right next to me as well. Next up, we have our brushes. Those of you who've seen me use these large Spellbinders brushes know that they are a favorite of mine. This is the type of brush that I like to use to do background blending. I will also use it for stenciling if it's a large open area, but I really love the background blending because you can go from a heavier amount of ink to a very, very trace or light amount of ink, just depending on how much pressure you use and how you pull that ink out down the cardstock. So I absolutely love these brushes. I use them all the time. For those of you who ask about which brushes I use, I definitely use different brushes for dye inks than I use for Distress Oxide inks. So I like having a different set for each of those. I also like the smaller Spellbinders brushes for especially stencils. When you're doing small areas in a stencil, you don't want a big brush getting ink everywhere. The Spellbinders Tool-in-One is also on sale right now. The Tool-in-One has a brush end and a piercing end. And for those of you who didn't know, there is actually a third tool that goes inside the body of the Tool-in-One. You just unscrew it and there's kind of that hooked end there. So, and you can protect it with that little piece of plastic so that you don't poke yourself when you're pulling it out. And then you can just pack it away inside the middle of the brush. I mainly use the piercing end and the brush end, so that one in the center doesn't get a lot of play, but I'll look to using it sometime in the future. I like using the piercing end to make sure I can poke out a die cut from a die. So if they're stuck in there sometimes, that's a great way to do that. I like using the brush end to get those little bits and pieces of paper out of the die cut and out of the die as well. And I like using the piercing end for the little stragglers that don't want to come out with the brush. Now you can use the brush on the die by itself. This mat is not on sale, but I did want to show you the Handy Crafty mat. It actually works like a dream. I wasn't sure what to expect, but I was brushing it and none of those little pieces were coming out. If you put the die with the die cutting side face down and then brush on the back, they all just fall out. It's miraculous. You can also use this mat for piercing if you want to add additional holes to something or stitching holes to something. And you can use the piercing side to pick up small gems and things like that and slide it off that plastic. Another tool that I don't have yet, but I did just order from the sale is this magnet. And it is basically something you can keep on your desk so that you can sweep up all the teeny tiny little dies. Sometimes I drop a little die and I'm going to use this to find it in the carpet. It is also great if you have adhesive, a pin in your adhesive. I am constantly losing the pin in adhesives. So this is perfect for me. I'm going to keep it right on my desk and it also looks cute on your desk. Next up, we have Better Press. There is a Better Press, couple of Better Press plates that I really, really like, and they are both on sale. But before I show you the plates, let me just show you that the magnet plate is also on sale. Now, I've kept mine for a long time. I clean it really religiously, but I did decide to finally get a new one because my old one was starting to get scratched up and stuff like that. This plate, the candy cane plate, is one of my favorites. Don't forget, you can also use this in the Glimmer machine with foil, but check out how cool it looks with just some ink and Better Press cardstock. This is the Buffalo Plaid plate. Now, I had this. I know I had it at some point, but for those of you who are crafting hoarders like I am, I can't find it for the life of me. So I just ordered another one. This is one of those ones though that is 60% off when you put it in the cart. So it's marked down for the sale and then you get an additional 60% off. It's a very, very good deal. So definitely recommend this one. This is a great one for backgrounds as well. Now let's take a look at some wax seal items. As many of you know, I love making wax seals. I find it very relaxing and therapeutic. I like to have more than one wax seal spoon warmer. So these spoons are the things that you place the wax beads in and then you place it over the little warmer. And I like to have one ready to go as soon as one has melted, so that as I'm pouring, I can start melting the second one. I know that kind of contradicts my whole idea of it being therapeutic and going slow and melting wax, but it is nice to have. And there's a few colors of wax beads that I really, really like. I like the aqua, the royal blue, and the black. Here's the aqua. It's just such a pretty light color. And the blue is really just sort of deep and rich and perfect with silver. You can even put gold on it as a metallic pen on top. And then the black, for this one, I actually melted it with some gold beads as well. But I am telling you, if you melt just the black and then put some gold paint pen on top, it looks phenomenal. It looks so good. All right, let's move on to adhesives, something that I use every single time I'm crafting. One is the Spellbinders Best Ever Craft Tape. This is the 5/8 inch craft tape. I use this for literally everything. I use it to hold dies in place. I love that it's tearable. I use it to hold foil in place on foil plates. I use it all the time. I'm using it when I do stitching dies, sometimes to hold the thread in place. It's just a great tape. It does not tear the paper as long as you go slowly, but it can pull up foil, so don't put it on foiled elements if you're cutting it out. I also love the Spellbinders tape runner. Both the tape runner and the refills are on sale, so grab that if you can. There's also some foam squares on sale. I really love foam squares. I prefer to use them rather than rolls just because they don't take up as much space in my crafting area. They also have black foam squares, and I like that the black comes in a mix pack of the large square and the small square. There's also a new adhesive that is on sale right now in the warehouse sale. This is the micro strips. I really like these because you can use them for a number of things. You can pop up an entire rectangle. You can use them with shaker cards. You get 76 strips in one pack, so it's a pretty good deal anyway, but it's on sale as well. And the gift card pockets. These are basically big stickers. The whole thing is like a sticker, and it just makes adding a gift card pocket the easiest thing you've ever done. So you can add them inside cards, you can add them outside cards. The gift cards just slide right in, and I just love that it's a peel and stick, so you don't really have to do anything else. And the wax seal circles, those adhere wax seals to your projects. Next up, there are dies. Now, there are a ton of specialty dies that are in the warehouse sale. Today, I'm focusing on some basics. So these are the Perfect Touch rectangles. They are a bunch of rectangles going from 4¼ by 5½ on down to a tag shape. And they add a little die cut element around the rectangle. It's not a stitch. It's something like this little like kind of U shape. And I just think it's so unique, but it adds the literal perfect touch. So I use it all the time in my cards. You can see that there are just, it's a little basic detail. You can add it to pattern paper, you can use it on cardstock, you can cut out a better pressed background with it, you can even cut out a background and use it as the mat. So it's just a really great die set to have. There's also the everlasting circles, there's also the arch labels and tag dies. There's a ton of arches in there, and they're really great for kind of housing things like images and sentiments. There's also the hexi gems. Now you can get those dome shapes to create easy shaker cards. And there's this tag set from the Lisa Horton Christmas collection from last year, but I just love these tags. They're perfect little tags, and they come with little flags as well. Next up, we have embellishments. Now, there are more embellishments that are available. These are a few that I use all the time. First up, the Color Essentials gems in Spectrum AB. I really like how they kind of have an iridescent look to them. And so they really match with pretty much anything. And I like that they come in 4 sizes in that pack. So everything from that large to a teeny, teeny, tiny. Next up is the Fashion Oyster. If you're looking for a perfect pearl, these are it. Again, they come in a number of sizes in the pack. You get 120 pearls. They're all self-adhesive, obviously. This is the gold fashion embellishments. You can see that I needed to order a new pack of that, and I did. This is the Fashion Silver, and I also grabbed a new pack of that as well. So these are just smaller items that you could add to your cart and grab some embellishments. Next up, we have trims. So there are a couple of trims. I like these Vivant trims that Spellbinders has. This is a cord that has a really nice color to it, as well as a little metallic mixed in. I did buy a few more colors of this because there are a number that are on sale. And this is the Vivant satin ribbon. Now, this satin ribbon is a nice high quality satin ribbon. It has a nice texture to it. It's very smooth and soft, and the color is really beautiful as well. You could even use those for gift wrapping. This is the storage section of the video. So first up, we have the medium craft stacks. These trays can be used to hold everything from sentiments to embellishments. Sometimes what I do is I'll start die cutting for a card and I'll have to stop. So I'll throw everything that I've done so far and what I might use right away in the future into a craft stacks and just have it ready to go when I'm going to be able to get back to crafting. The large craft stacks are awesome because you can fit things like a whole stencil pack in there. You can fit a die in there. You can fit plain cardstock 4¼ by 5½ or even 5 by 7 in there. So I like having an assortment of these 2 sizes so that I can use them for lots of different things. I also like having the bands because then I can travel with them if I need to, and or even just use them on my desk so that if they fall off, nothing is coming out. So you can use the bands around the large or the small stacked up. You can even stack the small on top of the large and then band them all together. So It's a great way to organize things. I also love this small storage box. This is a very affordable storage box, but look at how well it fits wax seal stamps. I really just love having the ability to have them all together like that so I can scan them and see what I want. Now you can also remove some of the dividers so that if you want to put some of your wax seal stamp handles in there, you can, as well as a roll of the stamps as well. So these are very, very affordable as is, but now they're on sale too. I hope you can see that this warehouse sale is absolutely worth shopping. It's not just like stuff from 20 years ago. It is new stuff. It is things that you use every single time you're making a card, like die cut machines and adhesives. So if you're interested in shopping the sale, please run down to the YouTube description box under this video. That's where I've linked all of my favorites. There are plenty more things that are on sale as well. So definitely check out everything else while you're there. But these are just some of the ones that I really can't live without. So I thought it might be good to share with you all that there is a sale going on that is absolutely perfect for card makers. I hope you enjoyed looking through some of my favorites, and then I hope you enjoy shopping the sale. So thanks so much for stopping by and spending time with me today. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you again soon.